Yeah, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first episode of 2026. Wow. Um, yeah, very excited to kick the year off. Had a great, New Year's Eve, just kicking it with the kids. Stayed at home with the wife and kids. That's always fun. That's always fun. But yeah, we're back. First episode of 2026. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. And if you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please subscribe. Shout out to all the audio listeners out there on Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen to the podcast. And yeah, this is not the first video of 2026, though. Unfortunately, if you guys haven't watched the Bama Belt funeral that is on my YouTube channel. I will make sure I'll put in the description. Make you guys, go watch it. It's very entertaining. A lot of people have been asking, hey, DiJon, how about that belt? Huh? When are you going to address the people? Well, I did specifically for y'all, but now we continue the ball rolling. And, go check that out. It was very entertaining. It was fun. And I tell you what, man, I got a lot of messages from people that I didn't even know listened to the podcast, to be quite honest with you. So yeah, it felt like everybody was rooting for my demise, and he got it. So let's just get to it, guys. The Rose Bowl, the infamous Rose Bowl, where Indiana absolutely destroyed Alabama, 38-3. I think, what was it? We haven't lost by 30 plus since 1996, the year before I was even born. Yeah. Um, First thoughts watching the game, when that fourth down happened in the first quarter, was 3-0. Bad field position to even go for it. We tried to draw Indiana off sides or throw them off. We end up going for it anyway. And, usually this season when Alabama goes for it, we usually succeed, right? But it really bit us in the ass. And ever since then, we couldn't do anything. We couldn't do anything to stop Indiana. We couldn't do anything to, pass on Indiana. We're not going to run the ball. We already established that. And yeah, we ran into a better team. There's no excuses for me. I think every Alabama fan is in the same boat. No excuses. Very embarrassing. And that is not a way to represent the University of Alabama when it comes to football. Now, there are going to be a lot of questions that are going to be unanswered for a while. Um, First of all, my thoughts on the performance was just shitty. It was shitty. It was embarrassing once again, and I took it away as, Indiana is the real fucking deal. Kirk Cinetti is a stone cold killer. Their team chemistry is insane. Their Heisman quarterback kicked our ass. He could do whatever he wanted. He barely threw the ball. He didn't have many pass attempts, but when he did, boy, did we feel him. And you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of this, right? I've watched a lot of Saban football, a lot. Um, that balanced attack that Indiana had, that run, pass, efficient, discipline, well coached, that looks like a Saban team. Did it not look like a Saban team to you? Does the Indiana Hoosiers not look like somebody that resembles a Saban-like team? Great defense, can run the ball, can pass the ball. They're not perfect in one thing, but they're damn good at everything. Everything. And, it's unfortunate because, we made it this far without being able to run the ball. That's probably the only positive you can say about this team this year is, hey, we got a playoff win without running the ball. And there's going to be a lot of questions. There's going to be a lot of decisions that need to be made. I'm not here to say fire anybody, but I don't know, man. I don't know where we go from here. I I tell you this. I'm glad that I podcast on Sunday, which it comes out Monday, but I had a lot of time to like reflect and chill and kind of grieve over the loss. And listen, man, my expectations aren't championship or bust no more because it doesn't seem like that's the standard to the guys that are actually playing on the football field. No effort, no determination, nothing. It was just like, hey, we're happy to be here. They canned it in first quarter. Now I get it. Indiana's the number one team in the nation, and they deserve to be, and they're probably going to win it all. And you know, I can't. I'm not going to root against Saban guys. And quite frankly, all four teams in the college football playoff right now are all Saban guys. So I appreciate Sig. I'm a big fan of Sig. You guys know that already. Um, I would love to have him at Alabama, but we're here now. Where do we go? I don't know. I don't know. Um, but before we get to that, let's get to Coach Kalen DeBoer right after the Rose Bowl.
I think for us, it's a lot of emotions right now, shared in the locker room. We can be upset, because losing doesn't sit well with us, and we can be, frustrated about it. But and that's what our program's going to be is upset when these type of situations happen, and we've got to use it to fuel us moving forward. I think also, obviously, but I'm going to be proud. I'm going to be proud of these guys and proud of who they are and what we accomplished this year. We came up short of our goal, and I think the other emotion would be just sad for the guys, and these would be two of them right here. Hard to look them in the eye because the emotions that go through me when I think about what they've given to me and given to this program every single day, everything they got. And so our guys, going back to a year ago, were all in, and they, committed to each other. They committed to, this season, and it showed up in the actions. It wasn't just actions that happened this fall. It happened every single day, going back to early January. So, again, frustrated, upset, and it doesn't sit well with us. But after today, all we can do is move on.
All we can do is move on, says Coach Kalen DeBoer. Okay. I listen to a lot. All right. I follow a lot of message boards, Alabama message boards, Alabama fans, Alabama podcasts, people affiliated, and I hear a lot of fire DeBoer, fire DeBoer. We've never lost like this since '96. He hasn't got it done. One playoff win's not going to do it. It's championship or bust. Fire him. And let's play this game since you want to fire him so bad. Okay. Let's say, as of right now, Coach Kalen DeBoer is fired from the University of Alabama. Okay. You got what you wanted. You got what you wanted for a long time. You said that this guy is not a Southern guy. He's not an SEC guy. He can't get it done. We lose to people we're supposed to beat. So he's gone now. You got what you wanted. Now what? Who are you going to hire? Who's out there that's available? Saban's not coming back. I'm sorry. Why would he? He's making a shit ton of money on ESPN Game Day, having fun, watching football, and he doesn't have to worry about us fans getting on his ass when he loses. Urban Meyer's not going anywhere. Again, he's on TV. He's on Fox, making a shit ton of money. Michigan opened up. LSU opened up. Florida opened up. Penn State opened up. And he hasn't went to neither one of them. So if he wanted to coach, I guarantee you he would have went to one of those 4 jobs. So he's not going to come. Now you have people that are currently coaching. Kirby's not going anywhere. If Sark goes anywhere, it's to the NFL. Otherwise, he's not going to leave Texas. Lane Kiffin's already at LSU. Now who are you going to get? You already said you don't want a guy from another conference. You want a guy from the SEC. You want a guy that's tough. You want a guy that can win football games. That guy that would be perfect for Alabama is the one that beat us 38-3. He's not going anywhere. So here's what we need to do. Okay. I am not on the train to fire Coach Kalen DeBoer. I used to be. Okay. Last year, I was like that against Florida State. Luckily, I probably didn't have this podcast out because I think that was when I was on my layoff. But I guarantee you, if I had that podcast when we lost to Florida State, I would have said fire Kalen DeBoer too. I guarantee you I would have. But now that I understand where the landscape of college football is, we don't have any other choice. All right. I am still of the belief that Kalen DeBoer is a good football coach. Is he great? He can be. He's shown that he can be great. There's been stretches during this season where it seems like, man, he is a big game killer. He wins big games. We know he can do it. He took Washington to the national championship. He's beat Georgia twice. This season, we beat 4 ranked teams in a row. But when you can't run the football, it's what it's always going to come down to, right? When you cannot run the football and you are one-dimensional, you are easy to scout. Good teams are going to eat that shit alive. And you've seen it during the Rose Bowl. That shit's not going to fly with good teams. You've seen it in the SEC championship. So I think what we all need to do is just pump the brakes a little bit and say, hey, coach, you got one more year. This will be his 3rd year. And usually coaches, especially in this window, you got a 3-year window to get something done. And if you can't get it done in that 3-year window, not only Alabama, all college football teams are going to move on from their coaches if they don't reach that expectation within 3 years. Simply because of the landscape of college football today. Everybody's moving. The transfer portals opened up, 2 days ago. So now a bunch of players are leaving and a bunch of players are getting added. Coaches are getting hired. Coordinators are getting hired. Coaches are getting fired. During the season, by the way, we just witnessed one of the craziest coaching hires and fires of all time in college football. And we're not even to the final game yet. But you want to fire Kalen DeBoer with no backup plan. I'm not of that belief that we need to do that right this second. I believe that give him one more year, okay? Go in the fucking portal and get an offensive line and a running back, because that's should be factor number one. A lot of the coordinators' contracts are up this season. So I believe that some people will not be back. What are we going to do with Grubb? I don't know. Should we keep Womack? Yes. Grubb, I don't know. Is Ty Simpson going to come back? You know what? I hope so. I hope so. I'm not going to put the blame on Ty on this one. That dude with no running game and a half good offensive line got beat to shit this year, had to do it all because there was no other choice, and he had to shoulder a lot of the weight for this team. I am not going to blame Ty Simpson for this season at all. And I hope he comes back this year. I hope he comes back. And you know what? If he goes to the NFL draft, kudos to him. But you can't blame Ty. You can blame Kalen DeBoer, for sure. But to fire him with no backup plan, with no plan ahead, there's no way we do that. And if we do, then we need to have another conversation on what this program really looks like. Because it would just be one of the biggest mistakes that we do if we fire Kalen DeBoer like everybody wants. Give him one more year. It's his third year. And then we'll see what happens from there. If we stay competitive, we beat the teams who we're supposed to beat. We get to the playoffs again without the committee having to make a choice to two or three teams are this close. Who are we going to pick? Just get there. Just get there, and then we'll go from there. But I'm telling you right now, if Kalen DeBoer does not have a run game, he will lose his job. There's no question about it. And if we don't have a run game, we're fucked. We've seen it already. We can't do anything with just passing. We got far now. I mean, that's like I said, that's probably the only positive that we can take out of this season is we won a playoff game without a running game at all. Very impressive, but when you run up against a good team like Indiana, it's lunch to them. It's lunch. So, listen, I'm excited for next season. I am disappointed how the season went, but like I said, I lowered my expectations because Saban built the standard. He built the standard of it's championship or bust. Okay. Everybody needs to be disciplined. You're going to get the hardest working kids every single year. And then we'll go from there. And 6 natties later, he becomes the best coach of all time. Following him is a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure. Coach DeBoer probably has the most pressure as an active head coach in college football because you're following Nick Saban. This next year will tell it all. For me, my guess is third year, just be competitive. Just be competitive. Beat the people who are supposed to beat. You'll keep your job. But you are playing for your job. There's no doubt about it. And so we'll see what happens. I'm going to keep an eye on the transfer portal, see who we get, see who leaves. We had a few people leave today, some key, defensive linemen, but nobody really crazy. We're keeping Ryan, I believe. I don't think he's going anywhere. Still waiting on Ty's decision. And, I'm looking for a running back to come to Bama because if not, it's going to be scary. And we need some old linemen to block. So, shout outs to Indiana, man. They are the favorite probably to win it now. A, Ohio State got beat. And B, the way that they dominated, why wouldn't you put them as the favorite? Like I said, man, that team is balanced. That team doesn't make any mistakes. And if they make a mistake, it's like nothing happened. They don't play off of momentum. They just play their brand of football and they beat you. And it's ironic because it looked like a Saban team. It looked like what Bama used to be. It takes your A game to beat us. And it was never enough, And, that team is scary. They're very good. And here's another thing, too, that I'll say. SEC versus Big Ten, okay? I want everybody to understand this. Coming from certain fan bases, the winning teams in that conference, the Bamas, Georgias, Ohio States, you can throw Michigan in there. The big blue bloods that always win all the time, they don't care about SEC versus Big Ten like that. I never did. I never cared about what's the score for bowl games when it comes to SEC versus Big Ten. I don't care that, oh, the Big Ten won a championship this year. The SEC won a championship this year. I never cared about that. All I cared about was, is Alabama going to win the Natty or not? And if we're not in contention or we're not in a national championship, I don't care who wins because we're not in it. I don't know if Ohio State feels that way, but I'm pretty sure Georgia feels that way. I'm pretty sure Ohio State feels that way. Michigan feels that way. It seems like the people that care about SEC versus Big Ten are fans of the mid to lower tier level schools in that conference because it's like a moral victory. Oh, these bowl games, you look at Iowa versus Vanderbilt. Oh, the SEC isn't as good as it. It may not be. Who fucking cares? Where's your team? What did your team do? Or is your team in a bowl? And if they did, how bad did they get beat? Because that's the only time that it seems like Big Ten versus SEC comes up. If you're winning natties and you're in contention every year, who gives a fuck? I never did. I never will. Because the people in the SEC, I got to play them every day. We got to see them every single season. I don't want them to win a championship. Are you kidding me? Like rooting for Georgia or Auburn to win a natty? No. No. I want to play in a natty. I want to watch my team win a natty again. Not the conference. I'm not a fan of the SEC. I'm a fan of Bama, which is in the SEC. We don't get rings because our conference wins. I don't know. I just don't. I don't play into the moral victories of that stuff. It got thrown in my face a lot this week. A lot. I don't care. I never did. I never will. Ever. Who's the toughest conference? They're both tough. They're both tough. They got the majority of the natties in the past 25 to 30 years. I don't care. I don't care. But college football was insane. The second round of the playoffs was insane. And my favorite game had to have been Georgia Ole Miss. Let's talk about it. Now, I didn't watch the whole game, okay? When I seen 20-12 at half, I said, yep, Georgia's got it in the bag. I'm not even going to pay attention. Not even going to turn to it. So, it is what it is. And, we'll go from there. But then something popped up on, ESPN, and it was like the fake punt. The fake punt popped up, and I was like, oh, I'll check this out, I guess. Turned on the whole fourth quarter. Boy, Trinidad Chambliss went scorched earth. Good God. That kid is elite as shit. When I tell you it felt like he wasn't missing a fucking thing, he wasn't missing a fucking thing. That defense came alive. Lacey was running like a bat out of hell. Coach Golden, kudos to you. Give a round of applause for Coach Golden of Ole Miss, man. Lane Kiffin left this program to die. Didn't matter that they were in the college football playoff, and you see now that they have a championship roster. He left them to go to LSU, and now Ole Miss is in the Final Four. Ain't that something? Honestly, if we're going to be real, it says if you're an LSU fan, you should be excited. Because look at what Lane Kiffin built. Trinidad Chambliss was a D2 player. You realize that? He played in Division II. No one's going to find that kid. But Lane did. That is a true diamond in the rough style story. And Lane Kiffin found him. And he went insane. And he's been going insane all year. So I think if you're an LSU fan, you should be excited for that reason. But if you're Ole Miss, man, I'm happy for you guys simply because it felt like you guys were put to dead. When the news came that Lane Kiffin was going to LSU, people started checking the fine print in the college football playoff. And listen, the committee hated Lane so much they bumped Ole Miss up instead of down. There was conversation where Ole Miss could get left out. I said it on here. But I tell you what, if you're an Ole Miss fan, you got to be excited. If you're an Ole Miss fan, you're probably not going to see this again for a very long time. No offense, but enjoy it. Don't take it for granted. I've seen a lot of them, trust me. I took some for granted. There's been conversations where I had with my parents. I'm like, man, I would trade one of my championships that I've seen. Mine, like I want them. I would trade one Alabama natty that I've seen just to play Nebraska one time. I've said that, and I mean it. But college football is insane. We got some great games coming. Oregon, Miami, Ole Miss, Indiana. It's gonna be insane, guys. It's gonna be insane. That's a good 4-team playoff right there. And Indiana is fucking scary. If I had to pick a winner, I'm going Indiana, dog. Seeing them, that's the first time that I've actually watched them fully. Yo, they are for real. And they got a bunch of transfer players today. Big time transfer players. They're going to be scary for a long time, guys. And I'm not putting that dynasty thing out there because for me, you got to win a championship at least 3 times out of the 5 years to be a dynasty. 3 times out of the 5 to 6 years, you gotta be to be a dynasty. That's kind of how I put it. But they can definitely get this one this year, and I think they will. But we will see how those games turn out. So those are going to be fun and exciting. But now I want to recircle something that I said a few pods back about the All-Star game. Okay. And I want you guys to realize something. I really mean what I say when I want this to actually be a thing. I want to push it to where this format, now obviously it's not going to be set this year because they got everything planned out and there's money involved with that, right? But I want to just have a hypothetical here when it comes to my All-Star format, okay? For those of you that don't know, the free game format, which I titled, hashtag free game format, by the way, is we're going to go East versus West again, okay? The winning conference gets a play-in tournament. The losing conference does not get a play-in tournament. That's the basis of the format, okay? Now, there's a bunch of people, I've had conversations with people that called, and said, man, that's a really good idea, but can it actually work? And I've went through everything. The only thing that I'm having trouble with is the scheduling of the losing conference. Would that make it a benefit to them to have to wait an extra 2 games instead of playing 2 games? Would the wait be longer? But I'm pretty sure if the format was in place, you could figure it out. But other than that, I can't find any bad thing about the format. You're going to get the players to play hard in the All-Star game. You're going to have owners involved in this because playing games means more money. It's an extra 1 to 2 games. It's treated like a playoff game. So that place is going to be packed out wherever the home game's at. And then wherever the away game is at, they're going to have, you could have a watch along in your stadium. The play-in makes a lot of money for how short it is. Way more than the Emirates Cup, I believe. So you have that aspect in it. Then you have the competition post All-Star break for the losing conference. Because now teams have to readjust of not having just to be safe with being 9 and 10. Now it's 1 through 8. So now the people that are 9 and 10 and also 8 and 7 that are close, they have to play even harder now to make sure they get that guaranteed 1 through 8 spot. So now it makes that conference even more competitive. And let's just say the East loses in the All-Star game with my format. The East is so wide open, it would make all those games even crazier and way more competitive, which means better viewership for us. And better viewership for us means better numbers and better revenue for the NBA. And I also got this question of, well, DiJon, how many people are really going to take the All-Star game serious, even if the format was in place? And that's why I want to play this hypothetical with you. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, the All-Star game is tomorrow. Okay? And all the standings are where they are during the All-Star break. And let's just say, obviously, Giannis from the Eastern Conference is definitely an All-Star. He's averaging 29 points a game. And Steph Curry, a notable play-in king with the Warriors, is averaging 28. He's definitely going to be an All-Star this year. Do you know that the Warriors are 8th in the Western Conference and the Bucks are 11th in the Eastern Conference? Tell me Giannis isn't going to go balls to the wall in that All-Star game to guarantee a play-in spot because he's 1 game out of the play-in. So if they lose the All-Star game with my format, they would have to jump 2 teams, 3 teams actually, to get into the playoffs. And as for the Warriors, you know them, they're always in the play-in, so they would love to have the play-in because they're sitting at 8th right now. And I think they are a full, what does that say? Okay, they're 3 games above 9th, which is the Trailblazers. Shout out to Denny Avdia, by the way. He's averaging 25? He might be a notable All-Star this year, too. Well, I think with the format, he'll probably be on the world team, but Steph would like to have a play-in because he knows, hey, I got to play good here because I make the Warriors run. He would take that All-Star game serious to win and get a play-in opportunity. But DiJon, what about the top guys? What about, SGA and Jokic and Wemby and Jalen Brunson, Jalen Brown? Those guys don't have to worry about it because they're already solidified in their conference. Well, it would benefit the top guys to have a play-in in their conference. Do you want to know why? Because now, the teams that you're talking about, the 1 seed, the 2 seed in the East and the Western Conference, now they get to make sure that whoever they play has played an extra 1 or 2 games before matching up in the playoffs. So now that takes away the health and durability of that team. And most importantly, you get to scout that team fully because they have to pull out their playoff plays and their schemes and their lineups because this is a pseudo playoff game. So it would definitely benefit the top players in the respective conferences to get a play-in in their conference. Like I said, man, I think this I think this format is not perfect. Okay? I'm not saying it's the best thing since sliced bread, but what I'm saying is it's the best thing to get competition back in the All-Star game. It's the best thing to put something on the line to where you don't have to pay people. You don't have to add draft picks. You don't have to do whatever conference wins gets home court advantage. No, this puts something on the line to where people actually have to step up to the plate. If you get 2 to 3 of the starting five to take it serious, it's a successful format. That's in my opinion. You're going to have those guys like the Giannis's and the Wimbies that take anything serious anyway because that's in their DNA. But if you get 2 to 3 out of the five starting five, the format's worked. It's worked. And I'm doing whatever in my power to at least get a conversation about it from the NBA. I've emailed Adam Silver. Okay. Can't believe it. Still haven't got an email back. And I emailed the NBA league offices about the format, about the pros, and how I think promoting this would benefit the league with something that we all enjoyed when we were children. The All-Star game was like a Super Bowl for basketball people in the middle of the season. You get to see the best of the best play each other. Now, the slam dunk contest, that's done for. That's done for. We're not going to be able to do anything with that. Nobody wants to do it. The superstars don't want to do it. Mac McClung's probably going to four-peat. That's done. Skills challenge, nobody cares. 3-point contest, nobody cares. And now we're doing this carnival-style all-star game, and it's going to backfire. Next season, bring the free game format to the table, and I promise you, you will get a better outreach of competition, of fanfare, and of viewership. Put something on the line, let everybody know about it, and if you win, there's a reward, and if you lose, there's consequences. You force them to play. That's how you do it. That's how you get it done. So I'm hoping and I'm praying somebody sees this, and if you know somebody in the league, send this to them. Because I'm telling you right now, this format is a great idea. And I'm going to continue to push it to the NBA as much as I can to say, hey, at least listen to it. At least think about it. And you don't have to pay me. I just want the game that I love to be better again. Because we're getting our ass kicked by football. NFL and college football are demolishing the ratings. And it's getting so bad to where, like, you know, even the casual fan will wait till post All-Star break. And then the super duper casual is going to wait till playoffs. Because we all know that's when the better basketball starts. So at least give it a thought. If you fuck with the format, hashtag free game format. Or say you fuck with the format. And share it with your grandma. You know? But hopefully, Adam Silver, you reach back and you read my email. All right? He probably won't. But it was worth a try. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. This is the only time that you can make a change is if you try. All right? A man who stands for nothing will fall for anything. I think that's how it goes, Malcolm X. But yeah, free game format. But I think that is it, man. Free gamer of the week goes to my brother DiJon Roberts, man. He won the Fantasy Football League. He went on a crazy 7-game win streak. Jackson Smith and Jigba. Who else did he have? He had DiJon Roberts. You know what's crazy? Here's what's fucked up about this league, okay? They know I work on Saturdays. Okay? My brother's not the commissioner, but he's best friends with the commissioner. He knows I work on Saturdays. Guess when the draft was? On a Saturday. So I literally had to take a break during my stop, have my ringer on my Apple Watch. I ain't wearing it right now, but I had a ringer on my Apple Watch to let me know when I'm up on the clock. And you know how the ESPN fantasy thing is. When it says you're on the clock, oh, you know, minute and a half. No, you got 10 seconds, dog. 10 seconds. Think about it. I had like a C- draft grade. Finished fifth. Okay. Had a solid season. I'll tell you this much. Producer, play my sad music. I've had enough. As long as I am playing fantasy football, I will never, ever, ever draft Saquon Barkley in my life. You were a disappointment. You were the franchise of my team. The Tribal Chiefs. Acknowledge me. I'm not acknowledging you. You fucked my whole season up. I tried to trade you. Nobody wanted you. And I told my brother, if I got a high draft pick, I'm picking DiJon Roberts. That motherfucker grabbed him. Now I'm stuck with you. I was excited for you. I was so excited. And you just fumbled the fucking bag. How do you go from a superstar season and then the next season completely shitty? I'm nothing, bro. I'm nothing. I will never ever draft you again. You can end the music right there, producer. It's me, by the way, again, if you guys didn't know. But yeah, Darnell is the free gamer of the week. He got a whole title belt. He won. He dominated. And you know what's crazy about that, though? He may have won the championship, but he's got a Tribal Chiefs problem. He's never beaten me this season. I'm 2-0 against him. So I'm going to let that run in his head. Who's the real champion? He is. I still got bragging rights, though. But shout out to Darnell, man. That is it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys have a happy new year. And one more thing, man. I'm going to ask y'all a question. When is the right time? Actually, I take that back. Here's the real question. When is the wrong time to say, hey, man, happy new year? Like, what's the date? What's the cutoff? Because for me, after January 1st, don't tell me happy new year. Okay? I got it. We're here now. I see you. It's 2026. I know. I know. It's over, though. Now we go. Don't tell me happy new year. It's what? January 4th. It's 4 days now. When's the right time and the wrong time to say happy new year? It's a good question. It's a good question. But yeah, that is it. And hope everybody, enjoys the new year. You get your resolutions done. You go to that gym that's completely packed right now. Completely packed. Get your resolutions in. Get your goals written down. And go after it. But yeah, that is it for today. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, please. On audio, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, go up and listen to those and check out the Bama Belt funeral. I think you guys will really enjoy it. It was hilarious. It was funny, and it's what everybody wanted. So go check out that video. It'll be down in the description. But yeah, that is it. That's free game, and I'm out.